I know we're all getting sick and tired of the biased BBC doing this stunt. Every now and then, they bring on an independent expert or the voice of the people and presenting them as just independent. Yet they all end up being either members of the Labour Party or union reps or just best friends with Jeremy Corbyn. Once again, thanks to Guido Fawkes for pointing out this story, Debbie Wilkinson, who goes on BBC, she's been on it before, as a paramedic, which by the way is now a health expert. That's just how it works apparently. We now find out that she is a union rep, she's a Corbyn fan, she's a Labour activist, and she has actually spoken at Labour conference. Yet, the BBC presented her as the voice of the people.
Debbie, who's from West Yorkshire, has been a paramedic for 30 years. She says that pay awards below inflation will drive people away from the NHS. She says the recent rising cost of fuel and bills is hurting.
It's not enough, nowhere near enough. You know, we need something that's going to address the cost of living and the inflation rises and actually give us a comfortable way of working and be able to live in between work.
It is absolutely fascinating how regularly this occurs, because every time there is someone who's not a left-winger goes on BBC, they always clarify that this person is talking about free markets, for example, but they are linked to the Conservative Party, to Reform UK, to the Adam Smith Institute, or they voted for Boris Johnson, or whatever they did, or they tweeted something jokey about something, or whatever. They always do that. Yet, when you look at the background of Debbie, you can see she got the I Love NHS badge on her. She's hanging out with Jeremy Corbyn in this photo. She has spoken at Labour conference. I have no problem with having Labour members going on TV. We need to be balanced. We need to get the right-wingers and left-wingers. The problem I have is the lack of transparency, the lack of honesty, but also, genuinely speaking, you know what they're doing. There's so many of these producers who work for the BBC, and they have been doing this for years. Not many people have actually noticed, because if they manage, just like since 60s and 70s, the left that infiltrated media and culture, they come out and say, well, if we sell these ideas using nice words like compassion and equality, and if we get these people and pretend that they are the voice of the people, this is what we call left-wing populism. Left-wing populism was always a thing. And now that they're losing the battleground and they're losing the ballot box, they say, well, populism is now suddenly a bad thing because right-wingers are embracing it. Really? You guys have been doing it since Karl Marx. And yet, no one really complained. The BBC needs to completely change their model. They could do whatever they want. I don't care. But don't really be linked to the Royal Charter. Don't be linked to the taxpayer. And at the same time, Ofcom clearly don't really care that much about the BBC's wrongdoings, because despite all the complaints that are sent to Ofcom, nothing changes ever. But we're going to come back and give you more updates in half an hour. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.